Ooh, welcome everyone to the only podcast to blend sports, wrestling, and video games all into one. It is Suplexes, Scores, and Save Points. Hashtag SSSPod. I am Ryan. With me this week, again, as always, is my brother, my co-host. It is the wonderful, I'm trying to think of the adverbs, Nathan.
What's up, everybody? Baseball is kind of back.
For a little bit. We had official games happen over the weekend. But before we get into sports, I just want to say, I know I mentioned last week there's going to be video. We kind of have a problem, still a little mix-up. So this will be an audio-only podcast again. It will be on YouTube. It'll be like last time. It'll just be, pictures or something I can come up with. So just throw that in there. It is going to be audio only again this week. So
yeah, we'll get there eventually.
We're still figuring out video. It's a little bit different than recording audio. So it might sound the way it used to. We're sorry about it. We have a little bit of interference. We had a little bit of problem this week trying to get this recorded. So we're making do with what we got. So starting with baseball, since it is back. I'm just gonna try to go through the divisions here, and figure out who won what series. So, in the American League East, the Tampa Bay Rays played the Toronto Blue Jays, and the Rays won the series 3-1. The Braves took the first game, and then the Blue Jays won the next two. So there you go, or the Blue Jays. And also in that division, we had the Baltimore The Baltimore Orioles played the Boston Red Sox, and the Baltimore Orioles are 2-1 as well. So they won that division 2-1 as well. They won that series, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then also in that division, we had the New York Yankees, who played. They had a 3-game series with the Washington Nationals, and they won 2-1. So,
a lot of splits. Not very undefeated.
Not yet. So in the American League East, after the first week of games, it won't go back. So I'm sorry, my internet's screwed up. Oh my God! Come on, fucking crap. So, in the American League East, it is Tampa Bay 3-1 because they had another game. Baltimore 2-1, New York 2-1, Toronto 2-2, and Boston Red Sox 1-3. And the American League Central, we had a 3-game series between the Cleveland Indians and the Kansas City Royals, where the Cleveland Indians won 2-1. Another split.
Another split. Seeing a pattern.
It's very. Not a lot of sweeps going on here. Yeah. This is not working again. Man. I love having internet that doesn't want to work. And then, also in the American League Central, we had the Minnesota Twins play the Chicago White Sox, and they won, take a guess, 2-1. We have a lot of splits. I haven't seen a single team. And then the other team in that division is the Detroit Tigers, and they played in a 3-game series against the Cincinnati Reds, where they won 2-1.
Yeah. The Reds got stomped.
They took the first game.
Lost both of the Tigers. They lost both of those games in the very last inning.
They won the first one. The Reds dominated the first game 7-1, and then they got.
Yeah. They fell apart.
So, the American League Central standings here. Okay, I must do this on my phone. So the American League Central standings are Cleveland, Minnesota, both at 2-1. Kansas City and Detroit are at 2-2, and Chicago White Sox are at 1-2. We head out west now. where the Houston Astros had a series with the 4-game series with the Mariners, where the Astros were 3-1. So they took it 3-1. The Oakland Athletics were in a series with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, where the Athletics took 2-1. The Texas Rangers played the Colorado Rockies, and they were 1-2. Seattle played the Mariners, or the Astros, so we know that one, and the Angels. So there you go. So in the West, it is Houston and Oakland at 3-1. Texas at 1-2. Seattle and Los Angeles at 1-3. We head over to the National League. By the way, there are no undefeated teams in baseball. We head over to the National League, where the Miami Marlins, who currently are not playing baseball, but they did play a couple games, and they played the Philadelphia Phillies, where they won 2 out of 3, so they are 2-1. But they have been postponed, their games, because they had a lot of positive coronavirus tests. So
they just released that all their games are postponed through Sunday.
And the Detroit and New York series just got postponed because they were playing Detroit, and so yeah. So we'll see what happens there. We'll move on to the Atlanta Braves, who were in a 3-game series with the Mets, and the Braves whooped up on the Mets, but the Mets took the first game. But then in the final game, the Braves won 14-1.
Wow.
Yeah, that is So we talked about the Phillies because they lost to the Marlins.
Right.
And then Washington, talked about them because they lost to the Orioles. So we're getting through this. In the Central, we'll head to the Chicago Cubs, who played the Brewers.
Yeah.
And they took 2 games, lost 1. They lost 1 game 8-3, and then they came back the next game and won 9-1. That's just...
Yeah, and a quick thing, when one of the Cubs pitchers almost had a perfect game, and which means nobody got to base. That's a perfect game.
Yeah.
Whether it be a walk, hit, error, whatever. But one person reached base 3 separate times, just the one guy, and it was the DH. And there was 2 National League teams playing, so under normal rules,
Yeah.
there wouldn't have been a DH, and he probably would have got a perfect game. So because of the COVID rules, he got screwed out of a perfect game. So just a quick note there about that.
We'll move on to the Cardinals, who played the Cardinals and the Pirates, and the Cardinals took the first 2. Pirates took the last one. Cardinals are 2-1. Pirates are 1-0 or 1-2. We already talked about the Brewers. We talked about Cincinnati. So in the Central, the standings currently are Chicago Cubs at 3-1, St. Louis Cardinals at 2-1, Milwaukee at 2-2, and Pittsburgh and Cincinnati both at 1-3. In the National League West, we got the San Diego Padres, who beat up on the Arizona Diamondbacks. They took them 2-1. The Diamondbacks took they played a 4-game series. My bad. And the Padres are 3-1. So the Diamondbacks escaped with 1 win out of that. We talked about the Rockies, who played the Rangers. The Giants played the Dodgers in a 4-game series with them splitting. That's the first split we've seen.
Right.
So 2-2 to both of those teams, and that's it. So in the National League West, it is San Diego at 3-1, Colorado at 2-1, San Francisco at 2-2, the Los Angeles Dodgers at 2-2, and Arizona at 1-3.
All right.
So your thoughts?
Quick note.
Go ahead.
We'll try to find because of the way that you did it by division, but the way they got the rankings or standings now is they're playing just the 3 divisions: West, Central, and East. All the teams from the there is no AL and NL right now, so maybe maybe for the next podcast, I'll try to find the rankings, because ESPN doesn't have them up yet. Like, they just have them still by division. So we'll have to try to find, like, the whole, how they're doing the standings this year with just the three standings. Just West, East, and Central.
Yeah. But yeah, so we touched on it, but yeah, who knows how long baseball's going to be around, because they've already had some coronavirus stuff hit them.
Because they're not doing the bubble, they're traveling.
Yeah, I really don't see them making it through this whole season.
And the NFL's got to be puckering their butthole right now. Because they want to do the same thing that baseball is doing, and it's not, and they're going to travel even more, because they're not just going to stay in the central part of the country. They're going all over the place like they always do. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Not looking good.
It's not looking good, no.
If this season plays out, the way they got the playoffs is the top 2 teams out of each 3 divisions make it to the playoffs. So 1 and 2 make it to the playoffs out of 3 divisions, and then there'll be 1 wild card, two wild cards through. So that'd be 8 teams total for the playoffs. So I guess whoever's the best of the third place teams, 2 best third place teams, will move on to make the 8-team field.
Okay, so we'll transition to more scores as the MLS soccer is back thing is happening.
Yes, it's actually up to the round of 16 right now.
It's funny that I can't find that on ESPN. It's weird that they don't have like the bracket or anything up here.
Just a second. Go ahead and talk about some.
I can throw in some scores here, but I don't know what's happening.
All right, just a second. All right, so we're at the round of 16, and in the round of 16, Orlando beat Montreal 1-0, so they moved on to the round of 8. So Orlando's in the round of 8. Philadelphia beat New England 1-0, so Philadelphia's in the round of 8. New York City FC won 3-1 with against Toronto, so New York City FC is in the round of 8. Kansas City won in a in penalty kicks, 0-0, but they won with penalty kicks, so Kansas City's in the round of 8. And Salt Lake lost to San Jose, so San Jose is in the round of 8. And LA Football Club won 4-1 against Seattle, so they're in the round of 8. And then the last 2 games are actually tonight. You have Columbus versus Minnesota and Portland versus Cincinnati to round out the last 8 teams in the MLS is back tournament. Not the MLS Cup, the MLS is back tournament. So I guess they're not actually going to crown a MLS champion this year.
Huh. Interesting.
I don't know.
So your team's still alive?
My team plays tonight, Columbus.
And speaking of that, you asked me to pick a team.
So you got to pick one of those teams that just moved on.
I did some research. I was looking around, and for some reason,
you didn't pick one that got eliminated, did you?
Well, almost. But for some reason, I'm gonna go with FC Cincinnati.
Oh boy, it's their first year in the.
That's why I like them.
MLS.
See, that's why I like the Wild in hockey, because I rooted for them when they were expansion. So.
All right.
So I got Cincinnati. I'll have to buy a hat. I don't think I'm gonna have to get like hats of all these teams.
I hope you know that they are playing the favorite. They are playing Portland.
Well, I know.
Won the most MLS Cups.
I know. So I realized that one, but I was gonna pick Nashville, and then I realized they're complete trash. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the expansion team though. So.
All right.
So I'm kind of taking rivals. We're both in the state of Ohio.
There was no NASCAR race this past week. They're taking the Cup Series anyway. I think there was some truck and
Yeah.
nationwide. But the Cup Series kind of took a weekend off. Was there a golf tournament this past week?
Ooh,
Wasn't it the Memorial?
There was some sort of... Yeah, there was something.
I felt like it was the Memorial.
Let me see. No.
It wasn't?
There was nothing on... Don't look like it. Unless it's not showing me.
It was the 3M Open. The Memorial was the week before. It was the 3M Open and Michael Thompson, who I've never heard
3M
of.
Open, yeah.
Yeah, Michael Thompson, who I've never heard of.
But
And he won $1.2
We do
million
have
from
one
it.
starting this week. It's the WGC FedEx St. Jude Invitational.
Right.
It is starting this week, and also the Barracuda Championship is also this week.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Brooks Koepka is the defending champion for the FedEx St. Jude Invitational, and Colin Morikawa is the defending champion of the Barracuda Championship.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure all the top guys are already playing in the other one.
Yeah, pretty much, I would say.
Any NHL news?
No, I think they're getting close to getting ready to go.
They don't start till September though.
Yeah, but I mean, they said they've had no positive cases. So
Yeah.
looks like they're probably going to get ready to.
Yeah.
They'll be on schedule to go.
I saw some NFL news where the NFL said that any player that puts themselves at high risk, like going to a nightclub, will not be getting paid.
Oof.
If they find out about it. So.
Oof. Do have an NHL thing. What do you think of the Seattle name?
Oh yeah, the Seattle.
Since
Kraken,
that was
I like
announced
it.
last week, the Seattle Kraken.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Very, very different name. I actually am into it. It's different. It's not anything else in sports, so I'm into it. The Kraken.
I like it.
We've got some
giant squid.
We've got some dudes got too much money. He doesn't know what to do with news. Patrick Mahomes, who, as everyone knows, signed the biggest contract in the history of sports. I guess he decided, you know what, I'm going to invest this. He is now part owner of the Kansas City Royals.
There you go.
So
he's not leaving that town forever.
That's what $500 million will do for you.
After he retires from football, he might as well become the mayor.
Yeah, he's going to be loved by Kansas City for the rest of his life. So he's basically going to move to Kansas City. Was there UFC anything last week?
Yeah, there was a fight night. Robert Whitaker made his return. He's been injured for a really long time. He made his return, and he got hurt a little bit during the fight, but pretty much he dominated in his return. There was let's see here. He beat Darren Till. Darren Till's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's only had 3 losses. So.
Also on the card, there was Mauricio Hua defeated Rogério Nogueira.
Right.
Fabricio Verdum defeated Alexander Gustafsson.
And that fight, Fabricio Verdum is a legend. And
he's had 27. He's 27, 11, and 1, or 24.
And he fought Alexander Gustafsson, who was in the light heavyweight, and he got beat by John Jones for the when he fought John Jones for the title, got beat by him. Moved up to heavyweight, and he got beat. And that guy's a legend. He still keeps winning.
Yeah. The other fights were Carla Esparza defeated Marina Rodriguez.
Yeah.
Paul Craig defeated Gadzimurad Antigulov. I'm pretty sure I butchered that name, but Alex Oliveira defeated Peter Sobata, and Khamzat Cheminov defeated Reese McKay. Nice. So that's the main card. There was a shit ton of prelims, but I'm not gonna. Who cares?
Yeah. There was one funny thing that happened in a prelim fight that I heard about where, I guess I don't know how funny it is, but it's odd. you know how whenever at the end of the round they hear the tick 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 for
Yeah.
10 seconds left.
Yeah.
Well, apparently this chick thought that meant it was the end of the fight or end of the round.
Oh,
because
boy.
she just put her hands down and was walking away, and the chick just beat the crap out of her for 10 seconds.
Oh man.
Yeah, she didn't know what was going on.
Is there a first fight or something? It's weird. You would think you would know that, like every fighting.
Yeah, you'd think. I'm trying to think of anything else that happened in sports.
I think we kind of.
Trying to think of any more NFL news. The Washington football team.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, they're not. They couldn't pick a name or couldn't come. I just think it was a matter of they weren't going to come up with enough stuff in time, so they just.
Yeah, they didn't have enough time, man.
So they're just going to be the Washington football team for this year, and then they'll come up with a name after the season. So that's going to be interesting to hear.
Yeah.
But, and they're going to have no logo, so on the helmets they're going to have the players' numbers, kind of like Alabama does. So
it's going to be
it'll be
interesting.
really weird to see in an NFL game.
Yeah.
Oh, but I think that pretty much covers sports. I think we pretty much
I think so.
hit everything major that happened. If we forgot something, I'm sure someone will let me know. But
Yeah, nothing tennis related. I don't think any tennis happened.
yeah, there's not really much else happening right now. So, alrighty then. So, what do you want to?
Let's go ahead into the wrestling, I guess.
Oh, let's do it. Let's do some wrestling. So we'll start, as always, as we do, with Monday Night Raw. This was not a good show.
No, the biggest thing that happened was Kairi Sane's last match. She won.
Yeah, she beat Bayley, which
never happens in the WWE. Like, you don't go out on top.
Another big thing was Ali's back. Ali
Yeah.
made his return in a 6-man tag. Also, a funny stat, Shelton Benjamin won a match. He beat, I guess it was a match. Shelton Benjamin beat R-Truth to become the 24/7 championship. And that was
maybe that title will get some recognition now.
Maybe. But it was a stat I saw. That was Shelton Benjamin's first win on Raw since like 2006 or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So high school, last time Shelton Benjamin won a match on Raw.
That's so sad.
So
That's so sad.
they continued the Seth Rollins stuff. He fought Aleister Black, and that's that's
Kairi's arm.
Ruby Riott won a match, which was cool.
Yeah,
I liked.
Drew McIntyre is gonna fight Dolph Ziggler again because I don't know why.
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler basically talked him into it, and this time Drew McIntyre gets to pick the stipulation.
Yeah, and then they had a match, if you want to call it that, between Randy Orton and Big Show. And Randy Orton won. That's Raw.
That was Raw.
That was Raw. There was not much on Raw.
No.
It's the same as always. Raw doesn't change any week. It's the same like 15 people or whatever every week. So
Yeah. Impact. Well, AEW Dark didn't really have much. It was a lot of squash matches this
As
week.
always.
So nothing really to mention in that show.
NBA Impact is the night after the show after Slammiversary. So
Yeah, and Heath Slater spent the show trying to break into the building, basically.
yeah.
The Good Brothers had a backstage segment where they were talking about how they were going to make big things happen in Impact, and then they had a run-in with Ace Austin, and he said, I got friends too, and then the Reno Scum beat him up, so I guess that'll be their first feud.
Reno Scum.
Yeah. And not much else happened, honestly. Eric, you'd think the night after they would have done some crazy stuff, but they really didn't. Eric Young's probably going to be the first contender for the Impact title against Eddie Edwards. And
The only other big thing was EC3 attacked Moose.
Yeah, he attacked Moose.
So apparently that's what's they're gonna go Moose versus. They ran some stupid Wrestle House reality show, weird
I don't know
ass
what that
segment.
was. And apparently apparently I don't know if it's just taking place in Crazy Steve's mind. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I don't know. The big thing, I guess you would say, is there's new tag team champions. I mean, that's the big thing.
Yep.
The Motor City Machine Guns defeated the North, and so the two old dudes are now world tag team champions.
Yep. And that was Impact. Then the big night Wednesday.
Yep.
I'll let you take over for NXT.
Yeah, and NXT was it was a decent show. It started off with Keith Lee basically announcing he is relinquishing the North American Championship, and a tournament will be held featuring, 6, I think, triple threat matches.
Yeah. That's a lot of triple threat matches.
6 or 5, I can't remember exactly, but this week the triple threat match was Bronson Reed, Roderick Strong, and Johnny Gargano. And in a surprise twist, Bronson Reed won, which was awesome.
Yeah.
It looks like Strong and Gargano are going to feud with each other, so that makes sense that they would probably...
That'd be a good feud.
And it's also going to be at TakeOver 30, which I can't believe there's already been... We're at 30 TakeOvers already, but...
That's crazy.
So it'll be TakeOver 30. The main event was Karrion Kross versus Dominik Dijakovic.
That was a pretty good match.
Yeah, and then it looks like they're doing Kross versus Lee, so...
Yeah. Had a weird ending, though.
It was. He just, looked him in the eyes, and...
Yeah.
Thatcher and Workin had another fight.
Brawl.
Yeah. They had a funny segment with Robert Stone. He's the highlight of the show every week. And I guess Mercedes Martinez joins the Robert Stone brand.
Yep.
That's pretty much all I need to know. Yeah, they had a couple of other matches that were pretty good, but overall decent night. Wasn't the best NXT, but it was pretty good.
Yeah. AEW, they're announcing that they're gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be belts, but also I forgot to mention, Impact is hinting at they're gonna have knockouts tag team titles again. So there's that. And the only reason I mention that is because AEW is announced on Dynamite that they're having a women's tag team. I don't know if they called it a tournament.
Yeah, they called it a tournament. It's an 8-team deadly draw, which I don't know if that's a play on the WCW where they're gonna be like the thing they used to do, where they have random
partners.
I don't know, but yeah, they're doing a women's tag team tournament at some point this summer. They didn't really say when, but
I don't know if it's gonna result in tag titles or not.
I don't think they have the division for that, but I guess they could.
I don't know. But there was that. Cody Rhodes defended his TV title against another mystery opponent, and it was kind of disappointing because John Moxley was on a radio show or a TV show or something, hyping it up, saying that hardcore fans were going to be really, really happy about this one, and it turned out to be Eddie Kingston, who's a brawler.
He's old.
He's old, and he was on NWA, which a lot of people don't watch that show, so they didn't see him. But yeah, it was a story-driven match because he acted like he hurt his leg, which I thought he really hurt his leg the way he was acting, but I guess he was just selling really good. But it was very.
I had a major complaint with this match.
It was very slow.
So, the ending of this match, Eddie Kingston power bombs Cody Rhodes on thumbtacks.
Right.
And then Cody Rhodes immediately no-sells it and beats him.
Well, yeah.
I've never seen someone recover from a thumbtack from that spot so quickly. Well,
they played it up that he got an adrenaline rush.
Get out of here with that. I'm sorry.
That was New Japan Wrestling there, Ryan, where they get the adrenaline rush.
I mean, because he got up, he got powerbombed, and he hit him with a clothesline or whatever. And then he just locked him in the...
Japan clothesline.
Yep, he just locked him in the figure 4 and it was over. And I was like, really? It's so... I don't know. I've never seen someone recover that quickly from that, but...
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. And then, so... As, on... Something major did happen on AEW Dark. Ricky Starks joined Taz and Brian Cage.
Yeah.
He joined that faction.
Yeah, they destroyed Darby Allin.
Oh my gosh.
Did you see that where he pushed him and he like?
I thought Darby Allin was out cold. I mean,
Dude, he about broke his neck.
He went limp. I was like, oh shit.
That was the same kind of spot years ago that injured Enzo Amore.
Kinda.
Like,
but he came from behind and just like, I mean, he flew into him. I was like, holy crap.
His neck hit the middle rope and it looked like he like broke his neck. Oh, it was ugly.
It was ugly. It was ugly.
And then they had the Falls Count Anywhere match between the Young Bucks and the Butcher and the Blade, and that was something.
It took place in the back.
Yeah,
in the kitchen area.
Yeah, Butcher and the Blade were cutting meat. And then
man, it's like WWF back in the day. They used to do that stuff.
It was entertaining, I guess, if you want to. I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it was a match. It was fun. They did have a good women's match between Diamante and Ivelisse, which was fun.
Yeah, the only thing I had critical about that was they didn't build Ivelisse up. I mean, when she was in Lucha Underground, she was a big deal. You know? I know. And I figured there'd be a little bit more of a build-up for her.
Yeah, Diamante beat her with a roll-up real quick, and it was like, huh, okay.
Yeah,
and I guess that means Diamante is getting a title shot against Shida, so.
Yeah, already. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah. And then they had the main event tag team match, and then basically all you get from this is what's his face is back. Sammy Guevara. So.
Yeah.
And they continued Orange Cassidy feuding with them.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Okay, so they had him come out as Serpentico. Serpentico. What was the point of that? Couldn't if he just ran out there as himself and done what he did? I don't know. I guess they wanted it to be a surprise. Everyone knew it was him. You could tell who it was.
That's true.
I mean, his body style and the way he was acting. I was like, when I first saw it, I was like, oh yeah, that's him. That's Sammy. I mean, I was like, there's no.
Yeah. But that was AEW. It was all right.
It was pretty good.
You had some news about UK, right? NXT UK.
Did I?
Yeah, about when they might be coming back.
I don't know about when they're coming back, but there was WWE trademarked. I can't remember what it's called, the Queen's Cup or something, and so people are assuming that they might be coming back NXT UK with a tournament of some kind. Because it's some sort of, I can't remember exactly what it was called.
I think you're pretty close with that.
It was some sort of cup, some England, something. But WWE trademarked it, and so everyone's assuming that they might just be coming back for just a random Heritage Cup.
Nah, the Heritage Cup, yeah.
So that's what people are thinking, that they might just come back with just a random tournament, which would be cool. I'd be all for it. So hopefully...
Yeah. Anything's better than nothing.
So hopefully they will be coming back soon. They haven't made an announcement or anything yet, but...
Yeah. No MLW. They're doing their little...
I do have news. I do have MLW news, though.
Oh, okay.
They have signed a new contract with this company called DOE TV. And it is on the streaming service Pluto.
Oh, okay.
Which is free. So, if you have Pluto, it's free. It's on Pluto TV, so if Pluto TV is a free app, you don't have to pay anything for it. And they have live TV, so starting sometime in the fall, you can watch MLW for free, which is cool.
Nice.
They have it on YouTube anyway, but it's sometimes nice to see it when it's actually airing. So
yeah, that's cool.
So they'll be there. There's news. So they're going on Doe TV. Never heard of it, but it'll be something.
Yeah, and NWA still hasn't really. I think Billy Corben's really hinted at anything about when they're coming back yet.
No.
He just said that they're not done. That's all he said. ROH really hasn't had much news. I don't know when they're going to start running shows again. I figured they'd start up pretty soon since New Japan did, but maybe not. Let's go ahead into SmackDown, I guess.
SmackDown was another 4-match episode of SmackDown.
Yeah.
They had a good match, actually, between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Winner faces Bayley next week for the title.
That's right.
They forced these two to wrestle, and it was a really good match, actually. And Nikki Cross won, so Nikki Cross is will get another shot at Bailey for that SmackDown Women's Championship that she has had a good match with before. They had Matt Riddle destroyed Tony Nese. It was not much of a match.
They like move after move.
But apparently Corbin has a what did he call it? He's got a head out on him or whatever he called it.
Yeah, something like that.
He's got a bounty essentially on his head.
Yeah,
is what I was trying to get at. They had a fatal 4-way for the #1 contender for the Intercontinental title. It was Grand Metalik, Lince Dorado, Drew Gulak, and Shorty G, which was the weirdest group of people I've ever seen. And in a surprise twist, Grand Metalik is the #1 contender.
Yeah, I was not expecting that.
Hey, I'm all for it.
Grand Metalik.
I am all for it. It was a fun match. That match was awesome. They were
might have been match of the whole week.
Yeah, I think it was. They had some tremendous spots. Those four really went at it. And yeah, Metalik's #1 contender. It's going to be interesting. That should be cool to see Metalik in a singles match for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah,
and then the bar fight happened.
Big E might be getting a push.
Yeah, they did have that. Kofi's out for 6 weeks. I don't know if it's legitimate or not. I don't think it is. I don't know. But he says he's out for 6 weeks and told Big E it's his time. So hopefully maybe Big E will be getting a singles push here.
All right.
And then they had the bar fight.
Yeah.
Another cinematic match. It took place in a bar.
It was okay.
It was better than I was expecting. They beat the living crap out of each other. Jeff Hardy got thrown through like a freaking drum set.
Yeah.
In the middle of Corona, he pushed his face in a toilet, which was weird. I didn't like that, but he jumped. And then in the end, Hardy jumped off a ladder, did the swanton. But I don't know if Jeff Hardy has supernatural powers or anything now, because he was on the ground at one point in the match. Sheamus basically beat him up, and then he put like his hat on his face, and then he took the hat off, and Jeff Hardy just magically had face paint and eye and contacts in. So I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but
that was a little Brother Nero. I think.
But then Hardy won, so I don't know where they go from here. Hopefully that storyline's over.
Yeah.
But we'll see. It wasn't terrible. The SmackDown wasn't as bad as other SmackDowns. They had some good matches. Every match was good.
Right.
Other than and then they had a dirt sheet segment, which was funny. It had some.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So, SmackDown overall was pretty good. Yeah, but match of the week for me was that Fatal 4-Way. That match was awesome.
Was pretty good.
It was all over the place.
205 Live, they had a 6-man tag. That's basically what 205 Live was. I think there was one other match with Jobber versus man, I can't remember who the Jobber fought. Oh, friggin' Drake Maverick.
Yeah, Maverick wrestled. Yeah.
Yeah, he beat Leon Rush.
He read that guy who's wrestling. He's just been beat up like everywhere. And it was Mansoor, Oni Lorcan, and Danny Burch versus, was it Everrise and Tahuti Miles.
And Tahuti Miles, yeah.
Mansoor and Tahuti Miles have been having a little mini feud on 205 Live, so.
Yeah. It was pretty good.
So it was a pretty.
Mansoor won with a roll up in.
Not gonna lie, this was a pretty good week of wrestling.
Yeah, definitely was.
There wasn't a lot of bad. Like even Raw had its moments, but this week was really good. Every show kind of progressed and had good matches on them, so
yeah,
it was worth watching this week. Some weeks it's not, so.
I don't really have much to tell you about New Japan. I haven't been able to watch it, so I can't really comment on it. I'll try to get caught up for the next episode. I'll try to get caught up on all the New Japan.
It's hard to watch New Japan. It's
they're having a big show called Summer Struggle.
Something like that.
I think is what they're calling it.
Yeah, Summer something. Yeah.
Summer Struggle, I think. So I'll try to get caught up, and so I can review all that next week.
Yeah.
New Japan's kind of weird. They don't have just 1 week episodes. They have about four 3-hour shows in a week. So it's kind of hard to keep up with all that.
Yeah, I know. They don't have a regular TV schedule, so it's hard to.
No, they like I said, they'll do like 4 3-hour shows in a week.
Yeah, and then they take like 2 weeks off, and then.
Yeah, so it's hard. It's weird, but I guess we can go ahead into some gaming.
I guess I should. I mean, I'm supposed to do the signer math.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know what to do.
That's all right. We can. You can do it sometimes, as long as you do it before the next pay-per-view. You know.
Okay, I gotta like. I mean, I looked at the Steiner Math promo, and I really don't know how I'm supposed to. It's out there.
All right, you gotta do it though. You gotta do it.
I'll do it. I'll do it next week. Promise.
You want to go into video games?
Yeah, we got a little bit to talk about in video games.
The big thing was the Xbox games reveal.
Yeah, Xbox. They revealed their
first party games. They did not announce a price. They did not announce a release date for the Xbox Series X. They did not release any info on the Series S, is what people have been calling it, the smaller version of the Series X. None of that. It was just all straight video games, which is nice, but there was some critiques about it. They didn't show a lot of gameplay. It was a lot of video trailers for games. The gameplay that they did show on the one everybody was waiting on was Halo Infinite. That was the most gameplay they showed, and it honestly looked like it was running on a Xbox One, and people were kind of upset by it. There's a lot of bad things coming out about this game. Some people were saying that it's not even finished, that they don't even have the multiplayer done. They're going to release it without the multiplayer for a little while or something. It's a mess.
Yeah.
Any comments on that?
I don't know, man. I feel like Corona really took them out of it, but man, both PlayStation and Xbox are like dragging their feet when it comes to releasing details.
Well, and I think it is due to Corona, but still, I mean, you're gonna have to. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you should either announce what you're really gonna do, or just delay it. Delay it for next year or something. I mean, nobody says you have to have it out. You could take it, you could delay it if you really had to. But
yeah, because it's not like they're taking any pre-orders or anything right now, so it's not like they have anyone already have money into this system, so they can they can wait.
Maybe that's why they haven't announced it. Maybe they're still thinking they might delay it. Maybe that's why they haven't announced it.
I mean, I really don't see, given everything, a lot of rush. I mean, yeah, I could see people going out and buying it for Christmas, but Black Friday this year is probably not going to be like a normal Black Friday.
No.
And so
a lot of stores have already said they're not going to be open.
Yeah, so I don't see how. And when everyone buy them online, yeah, but I don't know. That may be why they're probably thinking, what do we do? Do we move it back? Do we just wait? I don't know.
Yeah. The biggest game for me, personally, that got revealed was a new Fable game, and it's like a reboot. It's just called Fable. I'm excited. I really want that.
Yeah, those series is pretty good.
Yeah, and it was just a little video trailer. Nothing. They really actually they didn't even talk about anything about it. It's just like a little teaser trailer.
Yeah.
And then we had a bunch of first-party games announced. A new what was that game? Just a second. You go ahead and talk for a second, Ryan. I'm trying to figure something out.
Since we're on the Xbox, I want to mention real quick the Games for Gold with August, since August is coming up. For the first part of August, it will be Portal Knights, which is an Xbox One game, and the original Xbox game, MX Unleashed. And then for the second part of the month, it will be Override Mech City Brawl, which is an Xbox One game, and Red Faction 2, which is an original Xbox game. So those are the games with gold for August for August. Not a great lineup, but
yeah, three's free, man.
Yeah.
It was Psychonauts 2, the Psychonauts game from way back on the PlayStation 2, GameCube, and original Xbox. They're making a sequel finally, and they got the rights to that game, so they're making a sequel. That looked pretty cool. Tetris Effect. It's some weird, almost like Tetris 99, but it like had a bunch of weird stuff going on with the screen, and you play with a bunch of people online like Tetris 99, but it looked a lot different. A little more high-tech, better graphics, so we'll see how that goes. They showed a little bit more of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which I was like, I don't know why they're showing that. That's not really a Xbox first-party game.
Yeah.
So they kind of lied a little bit there. Let's see, what else was there? They had Tell Me Why, which you should be excited for, Ryan. Because it's made by the people that made Life is Strange. And so it's another story-driven game about kids that apparently their mom just up and left them, and they trying to figure out why.
Another game that's going to make me cry. Yes!
Yeah, basically. There was a game that looked like Knights from Sega Saturn back in the day. Way back in the day. It's called Ballin' Wonderworld, and it's made by some of the creators of that Knights game, and it had a lot of the Knights looking graphics, and it was kind of looked like that kind of art design. So I might get that. That sounds pretty cool. They showed Forza Motorsports. They showed some. They didn't really show it. They just showed the name. It's going to be an open world game, kind of like Skyrim, called Everwild. Dying Light 2.
State of Decay 3 also was.
State of Decay 3, yeah.
That's interesting.
Phantasy Star Online 2, which that Phantasy Star Online, those were Sega Dreamcast games back in the day, and they just released that one this past year, the Phantasy Star Online. So this one, they announced it, but that don't mean it's not gonna be 2 years from now or something on the Series X. Some of these games probably won't be in the first year.
No, some of these will be a while. Yeah, they'll be a while out. So.
Stalker 2, which I never played. Stalker 1 is being released. Let's see. The Gunk, which looked like almost kind of like a really strange Mario Sunshine style of game. Where you're cleaning up stuff, but you're in this, I don't know, it was a weird fantasy world. And Watch Dogs Legion.
Yeah,
and they showed a little bit about Hellblade 2 again. And that's about it. There was a couple other ones that I can't really remember. It was an okay event, but it was a lot of not much gameplay, a lot of video packages.
The one that's kind of like the other one is As Dusk Falls. It's another story-driven type of game. It says it spans 30 years, the game does, so...
What the hell?
So, it's an interactive drama, is what they're claiming it as, so... I don't know, I've always been a fan of story-driven games, so I'll probably check those games out.
Yeah. But yeah, it was an okay event, but like I said, a lot of video packages, not much gameplay.
Yeah.
And they didn't really show why you want to get a Series X, because they already said that they're going to try to keep the Xbox One alive for a while by releasing games on both systems. And they didn't really show anything that really made me except for Fable, which, like they said, they're going to release it on the Xbox One anyway, so I don't know. Nothing really jumped out to where I was like, I got to get that Series X.
Yeah.
And they didn't really show any graphics wise, why we should get the Series X either. Nothing really showed it off. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It was an okay event. PlayStation. You want to talk about the free games for PlayStation?
Yes, there's only 2.
I know one of them is Call of Duty Remastered.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Campaign Remastered is the official name.
So
and then
another game
called Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, which is like a battle royal game like Fortnite and all those other ones, but it's super like over the top cartoony.
Okay.
And a lot of people are playing it, so it's got a lot of popularity. So it seems like that's well timed for them to put this out. So if you're into battle royale games, you might want to check it out because it seems to be said it's a little way over the top cartoony, but apparently a lot of people are into it. So there is a PlayStation news hack, or I don't know, a hack, kind of like a leak. They're going to have something called PlayStation Activities, which is basically an instant access system. So they basically said, like, they were talking about a game called World Rallycross 9, or World WC, and then basically said that there's using the new super fast SSD memories, the players can instantly like get into a game or a race. So there'll be no loading times. So they said that they can instantly go from the start menu directly to a race or anywhere you want to go. So I don't know if that's going to be across all PlayStation 5 games or if that's just going to be specific for certain games, but they said that even multiplayer servers will be able to do that. So
that's interesting.
I don't know. So if that's the case, that might be pretty cool. If they can completely do that where it's instant access to stuff. But they said Xbox is probably going to do the same thing too, so.
Right. That's interesting. I mean, I'm like I said, they didn't show anything for me to go out and get a Series X, but I'm still excited for these new systems. Just what they're going to be capable of, and maybe the first 2 years won't be that great, but man, once we get past that, it's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
So, and you got any game releases for this week?
Yeah, we'll go through. There's not a lot, but we've got a couple here. Nothing really till we get to August, so we'll just jump straight into the August because everything else is kind of.
Okay.
Well, look at that. The Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout's a new release for PS4, so it's going to be instantly like just.
Oh wow.
Hellbound is released for the PC on August 4th. Scully for PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch, August 4th. Call of Duty Warzone Season 5 will be released for all of them on August 5th. I mean, we're going into next week a little bit, but it's fine. Fast and Furious Crossroads will be released next. Horizon Zero Dawn Complete Edition. There's a game coming out called Is It Wrong to Try to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't. UFC 4 comes out later next month, August 14th. That's a big one. And PGA Tour 2K21 comes out next month. And Tell Me Why. So it's already coming out. So that's insane. So yeah. So we got some big games coming later on in the month, but this week not a whole lot. Nothing really big, nothing really that's going to knock the pants off people. A lot of PC exclusive games, that's why I didn't really mention most of them, because most of the games coming out this week are PC exclusives, and we don't play PC, so...
Alright. Let's see, what else was there video game-wise? Not really much in Nintendo Switch news. There were some leaks, but it was like old stuff, and not real interesting. Like there was some, I guess some source code got released for like Mario 64 or something, and they showed some
Mario
Zelda,
Kart and
Zelda Ocarina of Time and stuff, and they showed apparently Luigi was supposed to be in Super Mario 64, and so people were freaking out about that, and then there were some like dungeons that didn't get used in Ocarina of Time that they showed, or so I don't know. But other than that, Nintendo didn't really have much news. Still don't really know what they're gonna do for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So should be interesting. What have you been playing?
Donkey Kong.
There you go. Hell yeah.
I've been knocking out Donkey Kong. I've been playing that. Just playing some retro games here and there on the PlayStation. Some Siphon Filter and stuff like that. Just trying stuff out.
Same here. Playing some retro games. Still playing some Mario. What the hell is the game called?
Sunshine.
My God.
Paper Mario, Origami.
Yeah, the Origami King. Still been playing a lot of that. I don't know, I'm going to try to get into some new PlayStation games, or maybe some new Xbox One games this week.
There hasn't been a lot of games that come out recently that I've really been excited for, so I'm going to try to find something kind of newer to play, and maybe do a review on or something like I did with the other game I did. So.
Alright.
But yeah, I've been playing a lot of retro games. I'll look through and maybe I can find a newer game to get into, because nothing really came out lately really interests me a lot. But Joe Rogan's in the news.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because he said playing video games are a waste of time and you don't get anywhere.
Well, yeah, but he's talking about playing a lot. Like, he's talking about if you play a bunch, you know, and if you don't have a job, if you're not trying to go out and do something and you're just spending most of your time playing video games, he says you're wasting your time. Which I can see his point.
He has a point. He does have a point, yeah.
So, I mean, people can spend 12 hours in a game, feel like they did something, but really, in the real world of things, you really did.
Yeah, they didn't really do, yeah.
So, I mean, I can see his point, but, it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Yeah, a lot of people are very upset. Yeah, I get his point. It's not like it's, huge or anything, but also, Cuphead is out on the PS4 today, which is weird that it wasn't out on the PS4, but...
Well, the reason it wasn't is because that's a Microsoft game.
Yeah. But, yeah, so it's officially out today.
So that's actually really interesting that a Microsoft game is on the PS4.
Yeah.
It's also on the Switch, so...
Yeah, they got released. Well, yeah, but Microsoft and Nintendo kind of work together, so...
Yeah.
I don't know. So, yeah, so if you're a PlayStation only exclusive player, and you can finally play yourself one of the hardest games ever.
Yeah. I have downloaded that and I played like the first 2 levels, and it is hard.
It is terribly hard, yeah. But yeah, that is pretty interesting that I don't know if maybe Sony bought it off of Microsoft, or I don't know.
I don't know about
renting it to them, or
yeah, maybe they just worked out a deal or something. It's kind of weird that it's just now, though. I could see the Switch, because the Switch, people didn't know how well it was going to sell, and now they realize how good it's selling to put it over there. But the PlayStation, that's kind of weird that it just now went there, like right before the PS4 was about to die.
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. That's really all I got.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, I have a new, I can go to the top sales this week.
Okay.
Last week. The highest selling game was Ghosts of Tsushima.
Yeah, Tsushima.
It's the best selling game in the US. It was the fastest selling new IP for Sony in history, with 2.4 million copies sold in the first 3 days. Animal Crossing New Horizons is number 2. Still.
Jeez.
Which is crazy. Last of Us Part 2 is number 3. Paper Mario, the Origami King is number 4. Number 5 is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has moved up to 6 somehow.
What the hell? That game's been out forever.
And Grand Theft Auto 5 is in 7th.
Oh my god. Those 2 games are never going to die.
Minecraft is still on the list. Red Dead Redemption 2 is still on the list.
people are not buying new games, are
So
they?
Red Dead Redemption is at 10th. Ring Fit Adventure is 9, and Minecraft's
What
8.
the heck? Ring Fit Adventure?
I don't know, man. I have no idea. I don't understand. I don't know how. The thing that shocks me is Grand Theft Auto 5 still number 7. How in the world is it still number 7? You think every single person in the country has that game by now?
You would think.
Or in the world. Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
But apparently Red Dead Redemption 2, Rockstar Games announced a huge updates coming for the online in that game, so everyone's probably buying it.
Oh.
So,
Alright, well.
that pretty much ends it.
Yeah, that was a good podcast. Like I said, like you said, we'll try to get the video up. If it doesn't look great, we're not gonna do it because we don't want crappy video. You know?
Yeah, we live in an area where the internet's not the best, so we're struggling with connection issues and quality of video. We're just trying to come up with ways to make this more accessible to more people and make it to where something people might want to actually check out and see. So we're trying to go the video route. If it doesn't work, we'll continue to do it the way we're doing it on YouTube, and I'll photo around with it and come up with some stuff. That was a word.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're trying to make this more visibly appeasing and more audio appeasing. Wow, pleasing, whatever that word is. Like I said, this week we're a little bit different. We had to go back to our old style of recording just because of issues. So we apologize for that if it sounds worse this week than in previous. But other than that, yeah, like I said, next week we'll be back. Hopefully we'll sound better and we'll keep going. So.
All right.
So, without any other news or anything to talk about, I am Ryan. This is Nathan. And as always, I forgot it. Score if you can. Save if you must. But suplex if necessary.
Later.
I had a brain